Probe microphone, or real ear measurement, is a procedure that is used for programming hearing aids. To do this, two computers are used, one for programming the hearing aid and the other for measuring the hearing aid. Before the hearing aid fitting, both computers need to be prepared for the procedure. To get the probe microphone machine ready, the patient's hearing test is keyed into the computer and the computer develops a curve called a prescriptive target. The curve is a dotted line. This target represents what needs to come out of the hearing aid to correct the hearing loss across the frequencies. We get the second computer that is going to program the hearing aid ready by entering the patient's pertinent information, such as their name, birth date, and the result of their hearing test. Each hearing aid manufacturer has its own software that is used to program their hearing aids. Next, the hearing aids are then connected to the computer. A tiny tube from the real ear machine is placed in the patient's ear. This tube is connected to a microphone, which allows what the hearing aid is delivering to the ear to be measured. The hearing aid is inserted on top of the tiny tube, and a small speaker is placed about 10 inches from the ear and the hearing aid. The speaker delivers the sound that is used in measuring the hearing aids. We measure each ear separately and begin by turning on the sound of the speaker. A line will appear once we start measuring. This represents what is being delivered to the ear by the hearing aid, and it is a solid line. The software of each hearing aid manufacturer calculates what is needed to correct the patient's hearing loss. This calculation is based on an algorithm that they have developed. However, what initially comes out of the hearing aid, or what we call the first fit, is rarely what is needed by the patient. Each ear canal has its own acoustic environment. The canal has its own size or volume. Physical properties such as skin, bone, fat, and cartilage can be different as well. Our goal is to program the hearing aid, which is the solid line, to match the dotted line, which is the prescriptive target. Again, this prescriptive target represents what needs to come out of the hearing aid in order to correct the hearing loss. This is very important because different letters of the alphabet are at different frequencies. We want each letter to be the same loudness so that speech doesn't have some letters louder than others. Once we meet the prescriptive target, we have achieved the proper shape. For new users, we will often reduce the overall volume softer to a 70 or 80% correction, and then slowly increase the volume as the patient adjusts to the new loudness. We can also do a little subjective fine-tuning around our prescriptive target for the patient preferences. When probe microphone or real ear measurements are used, we are not guessing at what the patient needs, we are measuring what the patient needs. This assures a much better outcome for the patient in the performance of the hearing aids and in their daily lives.